What's up, y'all? I hope all is well with you today. Let's discuss how you are God's frontline soldier in a spiritual war while being used as his secret weapon. For anybody that was ever in the military and they got that news that they were chosen to be on the front line when it's time to go to war, can you just imagine the mental torment that they must have felt? They were probably scared for dear life. They didn't know if they would ever make it home again. They didn't know if they would ever see their families again. But you're in a spiritual war because you're in God's military. And God is the head chief, the head sergeant in charge. So things operate a whole lot different. Spiritual warfare is often misunderstood, but it's a very real aspect of the spiritual life. It refers to the battles we face in the spiritual realm where light and darkness collide. It's a timeless battle between good and evil. You probably wonder why you went through certain things throughout your life, but it's because God was training you throughout your life so that He could put you on the battlefield on the front line as His secret weapon. On the spiritual battlefield, that's when the forces of good strive to uplift, they strive to inspire, they strive to educate, and even exhibit love, while darker entities and influences attempt to disrupt, distract, and destroy. When you are going through spiritual warfare, these spiritual struggles can be overwhelming. But God is equipping you with the proper tools and the proper strategies so that you can stand firm and be able to emerge from this war and any spiritual attacks. Keep in mind that we are not fighting against flesh and blood here, but against entities of the dark world. It's the spiritual forces of evil. We live in a world that is so riddled with pain. It's riddled with injustice and imperfection. And this is what the spiritual warfare is stemming from. It's stemming from this brokenness. Understanding this reality will help you see that these spiritual battles are not personal failures. It's a part of a larger cosmic narrative. When you think about all the different things that you have to go through in your life when it comes to other people, you could probably tell that God has you on the front line. He has a whole army of spiritual soldiers that he chose to be the vessels that will eventually display the glory of God's kingdom. And he's using you as his secret weapon. These evil entities didn't know that God had you on his side, you on God's team. God only puts his strongest soldiers on the front line, and you are one of the strongest, most spiritually developed people that he has. The spiritual challenges that you experience in your life are deeper implications. Things such as the persistent feeling of discouragement, disunity, even conflict, because the enemy seeks to distract you and weaken your faith. Being able to recognize these attacks is the first step to overcoming them while you're being God's soldier on the front line. You may not even want to be on the front line of a spiritual war, but there's no need to worry. Even though you're on the front line, God is keeping you protected. There's an invisible shield around you that can't be penetrated. It can't be popped. It can't be stabbed. You have on the armor of God. The armor of God includes some things. It includes things like truth. It includes things like righteousness, peace, faith, salvation. These practices will fortify you against spiritual opposition while also providing you with clarity amidst confusion. You are being put there on the front line so that you could be able to stop the evil forces from being able to hurt many of God's other people. See, this is why you went through certain things in your life so that you can make it out of those things and be able to tell your story. Spiritual warfare is something that many people can resonate with across different cultures and belief systems. If you are someone who is experiencing spiritual warfare, your only role here is to stay prayed up so that you can stay connected to God. Prayer is your secret weapon during a spiritual war. But spiritual warfare is not something that you should fear. It's actually a call to grow deeper in your faith and reliance of God. Your prayers is how you are putting on and keeping on your armor of God. Staying prayerful and standing firm in His promises will help you face this warfare with confidence. No weapons formed during a spiritual battle will prosper. The main thing to keep in mind while you are going through spiritual warfare is that you are not fighting alone, as God is with you. Trust that every spiritual struggle is shaping you, it's preparing you, it's even propelling you into the life that God has called you to live. Lean into God's strength, stand firm in His truth, and walk boldly in faith. To book a personal one-on-one session with me or to donate to me in the channel, all that information will be down below in the description box of this video. I'll be back soon. Peace.